Des from Aro-Tarot here, and I'm refilming this. The first time I filmed this video, like last week, I blabbed a lot. So I'm gonna try to not blab a lot. But basically, I kind of had this idea that, you know, it's Pride Month, so I thought maybe I'd kind of do something in the form of sharing a story that I wrote, like, for class, actually last June. Just 'cause. Like, I was thinking, like, oh, what if there was anything tarot related, but, like, the only thing I could think of is, like, showing, like, diversity on, like, cards, and, like, there's already been tags and stuff like that, so, like, yeah, which I have a tag that I want to do, I just haven't, done it yet. I actually have it, like, filmed. I'll probably end up, like, bringing the questions out and, like, refilming it. But anyway, yeah, so I kind of thought that, also, and I just thought it'd be kind of cool to maybe share something that I wrote, on the channel, because why not? It's my channel. So, basically, I wrote this story, and there's a version of it, essentially, an edited form of the rough draft is actually, on Archive of Our Own. I made it like a fan fiction because when I was coming up with this story idea, I had like very like these two characters in mind, specifically the one, but like I had these characters in mind when I was writing it. But yeah, so this was the version that I ended up turning in, and my class was English 226, and it's Intro to Creative Writing. So that was the class. If I remember correctly, I think I got a B on this because like it was too confusing. And then me and Nana, like I was like complaining to my Nana like constantly because she also read it. She likes to both my Nanas actually like to read my work, but the Nana that lives next door, she kind of like will read my stuff like. If it's like creative writing, she's always been kind of like that, where like she'll read it and she'll like be like, okay, like this sentence doesn't make sense. These spurts were spelled misspelled. You need a comma there, like editing. She'll like like work like editing because like sometimes I'll have to read stuff like 5 times at least just to catch all my mistakes. So I usually let her do editing. And I was telling her about this story, so she wanted to read it. So she read it and was like, so then I was like complaining to her about like how like they were like so like my instructor was so confused about this one part, even though I kind of said something about it. And she's like, it made sense. Like, and I'm like, I know, right? Basically, it deals with, like, how, because this is a soulmate story, about how, like, soulmates meet. I think in the version I put up on Archive of Our Own, I think I extended that bit, because in the original version, I had that part longer, but I had to cut a lot out because I had, like, a word limit, so I couldn't really go in depth about like this world that I kind of built this like this AU. Yeah, but anyway, I figured I'd go ahead and just read it, and I'll stop blabbing because I keep blabbing. Okay, so the title that I kind of named this one Soulmate, but the version on Archive of Our Own I named Dreams on Pages. I'm not very good at naming stuff, so that's kind of just, you could see it as either title. I just kind of had Soulmate as, like, you didn't have to name the story. I just had that as the document name. So then when I had to name it on Archive, I was like, Dreams on Pages. That makes sense. But yeah, anyway. So, yeah, this is what I wrote last June. And I like narrating. I like reading, so, yeah, I'm the read it out loud. So, here I go. Yet another has made its way onto your desk. It's dull. All of it is so dull. Day after day, you are stuck editing romance novel after romance novel. It's been so long since another genre has touched your fingertips. You yearn for the day to come when people stop obsessing over the whole soulmate phenomenon. The only thing that you can find without mention of it is in certain scientific journals, and even then, it is still littering the whole of science. Of course, it is science, and it's not really littering anything. It's just that it makes those thoughts creep back into your skull. You only took this job to get your brother off your back, and had you known that there'd be so many reminders of your issue, you wouldn't have taken it in the first place. Unfeeling robot. Shut up, shut up, shut up. You slam the manuscript down onto the dark wooden desk. Your fingers start to run through your hair and tug at the ends. Why? Why must you be like this? You didn't ask for this. You were simply born this way. Why? Why were you born like this? Is there some kind of deeper meaning to all of this? Are you an example? Or is this world simply your hell? Freak. Psychopath. Your palm bolts to the edge of the desk. You don't register the pain because you're too busy trying to shut your brain off. Why won't it shut off? Why must it repeat the hurtful words that your old classmates and current co-workers spit at you? Must it play it like a broken record? You've heard it enough to last you a lifetime, but it still comes back to haunt you. And those damn things keep making it worse. You contemplate throwing the manuscript across the room, but you don't want to be stuck picking up all of the pages. Your face gets buried into your hands as you start to shake back and forth. Calm down. You just need to calm down, clear your mind. You can do this. Yes, you can. You've done it before, and you can do it again. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now repeat. There you go. Much better. Most of your face leaves both your hands as you rest your cheek on your palm. This would be so much easier if you weren't so different. You've tried being like everyone else. You've tried to be attracted to other people romantically. You really have tried. Growing up, you were surrounded by so many images of characters falling in love and getting married and having kids, etc., etc. It almost seems as if the only way to be happy was to find your soulmate and live a happy, sappy life with them. Sometimes you still wonder, though. As the years go by, you feel even more uncomfortable in your own skin. To so many people, who you are is wrong. Sometimes they don't even realize that they're hurting your feelings and breaking your walls down brick by brick. Other times they do it on purpose. You want to hate those people. You do it at times, but what you really hate is the way that society has basically brainwashed everyone to believe that happiness is being with your one soulmate. Even the people that end up with someone that isn't their soulmate's judged. However, aromantic people such as yourself are judged more. You wish that studies were done on the topic of platonic soulmates, although at the same time you aren't sure how much that would help. At least those other aromantics did connect to their soulmates through dreams, just like everyone else. You have not. At one point, you thought that you did. You thought that the boy in your dreams was him, but the chances of a dream connection at such a young age are low, and after some time, he vanished. You just assume your mind created him in order to cope with being so damn lonely all the time. Sometimes you wish your mind would try such a method again. At least then you could pretend. Unable to deal with the overly sweet romance in front of you, you pick up the next one. After all, this is your job, and you have to work in order to pay the bills. Let's see. What's this? Pirates? If this is another erotic pirate novel, you're going to walk right out of this office and never come back. Wait, what? Is this not a romance? No, it's not. You fly quickly through the epic tale of two pirates who fight against British soldiers and try to take over the sea. It's brilliant, and it's also vaguely familiar. You feel as if you've lived this story before. You aren't sure how that is possible, but you must meet this writer. You just must. You need to know where this story came from. By the time you do meet the writer, you've almost completely forgotten about it. The words have been creeping into your head more of late, and you've been unable to think of anything else. Sleeping has become harder, and you find yourself lucky that you have no roommate to hide your tear-stained face from. The writer of the work which piqued your interest comes pounding into your office. He doesn't say his name or anything. He simply gets right down to business, and he is rather angry with you. You bloody counted how many sentences were run on. It takes you off guard. You were definitely not expecting this rather short man with sandy hair to come in on such a day. It's one of your bad days, too, and you can barely take in what he said. A whole minute passes before you can reply. Yes, I usually do that, and besides that, your work was amazing. Those were Wait, did you say it was amazing? Extraordinary. Astounding, really. Oh. he seems to have calmed down, and you can finally see how red his cheeks and ears are. It very slowly starts to disappear. Thank you. Silence makes its way into the room, and it stays until you can finally bring yourself to speak up. Where'd you get the plot idea from? I looked at your pieces from years ago, and none of them are like this. It's not because you got a new editor, is it? No, that's not why. Can you please tell me? You watch as he contemplates this. You're pretty sure that he will refuse to share this information, but then he does. It appears he has decided that no harm can be done as his features continue to soften. My dreams. You raise your eyebrow at him. I connected with my soulmate when I was a kid, but as soon as I moved, the dream stopped. I assume that the distance made the connection weak, since that can happen. After everything that has happened in my life, I just want to actually meet them. I thought if I wrote the tales that we shared together in a book, then they might see it. I was a bit popular when I was younger, so I thought that maybe this one would get some attention. Are you even listening? This. Oh my god. You get up and make your way over to the very confused man, and you simply wrap your arms around him. You start to weep, and although he has absolutely no idea why this is happening, he doesn't stop it. It's you. It's really you. I thought that I dreamt you up. I thought you weren't real. I thought that I was cursed to live a life without a soulmate. I thought you weren't real because I'm so different. Tears stream down your face and onto his shirt, dampening it. You wonder if he'll believe you. You wonder if you should get off him. What if he doesn't remember? What if this is too embarrassing? What if he hates you now? What if he doesn't accept that you're so different? But then, his arms wrap around you. It's alright to be different. Everyone is, and won't change anything. You're my soulmate, and you're perfect just the way you are. The end. Yeah, I think I had been reading some soulmate AUs, and that's why I kind of wanted to write my own. But obviously, I don't write romance anymore because the world's got enough romance. So I decided to make one about platonic soulmates because Avi, like, literally channel name Aro-Tarot. So like I'm Aro, so like I usually kind of like writing about that because then like obviously it's something that I very much know. So yeah, I kind of was doing like a soulmate kind of universe where, you know, because people are always talking about the soulmate, you know, like whenever they have soulmate like kind of like stuff, it's just a romance, you know? And I question while reading them, well, what happens if you're, like, aromantic? Because I believe that, like, people have soulmates, and I believe that people have more than one soulmates. If you read the version on Archive of Our Own and, like, the original draft of this, I actually even touched upon having multiple soulmates, as that one's kind of being researched at the moment that the story's taking place. But it hasn't really been researched, like, with like, people that are aromantic or anything. And then, of course, like, I didn't touch upon, like, it being completely okay to, like, not even have a soulmate because, like, you don't have to be platonically attracted to anyone. Like, you do you. Like, this was kind of, like, just, like, the point of view of someone that is and someone that's kind of, like, in a universe that everyone has a soulmate, you know. But, yeah, if, like, anyone, like, looked up the Archive of Our Own version, because I did say the name, and my name over there is the same. It's, like, the only story I published, because I don't write as much as I used to. I used to write fanfiction all the time. Like, you could see, like, who I had in mind. You can kind of already get an idea. One, short, sandy-haired, you know, obviously, like, literally, I use bloody in the one part, like, and I mentioned British shoulders, like, so, like, the characters are British, one short with sandy hair, the other one thinks things are dull. I wonder who I had in mind when I was writing this. I don't know. But, yeah. Like, as you can see, though, I very much like writing in second point of view, and I think my peers said not to, and I was like, I'm gonna write in the second point of view, like, I think in an old version, I want to say in, like, the first draft I did it, because they kind of, like, everyone's like, no, you shouldn't, and I think I also had to, like, say what the main character's name was, and then for, like, the final version, I was like, you don't need to know. If anything, like, the version that I had made for, like, the main character, I can't remember what I named him, but, like, in a third-person point of view of the story, it would be a guy. Because I very much pictured him, like, as, like, a guy, and he'd, like, have his glasses and stuff. like, cute little, like, editor nerd. But, yeah, I just don't like writing in, I'll write in third if I can't write in second, but I prefer writing in second. I feel like my best stuff's in second for some reason. I think part of it's because I like to write kind of, like, if I am actually reading it to someone, and very much kind of, like, more so, like, you're hearing someone's thoughts. Like, I'm not, like, the best, like, writer. I've always been better at coming up with stories. But, yeah, this is just something really small that I wrote, and I thought I'd kind of share it. I'm thinking, as of me filming this, I'm thinking about getting another traveler's notebook, like a small one, and kind of using it, like, pocket-sized, and using it for writing to try to get myself out of my continuous writer spots. Because the annoying thing with, like, when you're constantly coming up with ideas and, like, keep all your ideas even from high school, is you just get so many, and I have, like, I think they're called a xylophone, like, you know, like these things. I have one right here. Like, these things, and, like, I had, like, a bunch of them I used to just carry around in school, because, like, each, like, divider had, like, a different, story idea in that I was writing, and, like, yeah, so I'm thinking, whoops, I had a box of ink, and the ink's coming out. I was thinking maybe, it would be good, just to kind of carry around with me, like, whichever story I want to actually work on. Can I get this back in now? Yeah. But, yeah, so I was thinking maybe if I can get out of the, writer's block kind of thing, I might share, I don't know, it could be fan fiction, it could not be fan fiction. I might just, like, narrate whatever I post on, like, Archive of Our Own, or, like, anything. Who knows? But that's just the version I had finally turned in as my, final for Intro to Creative Writing last year. Which the final version was, June 22nd, 2017. But, yeah, so I thought I'd just kind of share that. Maybe I'll do it again if I can edit up some stories I've already written, or, I've not written in so long. I just keep coming up with ideas, but then not actually writing them. But anyway, if I finally end up, like, writing, or even just fan fiction, I could always narrate them and share them, like, who knows. But, yeah, so I'm gonna stop, talking now, and go. But yeah, so that's it. I'm Des from Aro-Tarot, and I'm gonna go ahead and log off now, so bye.